How I improved my English. It is Monday again, and I'm heading to school. I feel a little nervous but also excited. I spent my whole weekend trying to improve my English. As I walk into my classroom, I see my friends already chatting and laughing together. When I sit down, our teacher, Mrs. Lane, asks us all, "So, what did you do over the weekend?" She looks around, and I raise my hand. On Saturday, I was at work, and then I practiced English, I say. I can already do my job pretty well, and I enjoy talking to our customers. My friend Eva, who is sitting next to me, looks surprised and asks, "Wow, did you practice speaking? You sound really different. Your English sounds smoother." I smile, feeling a little proud. "Yes," I say. "Thank you, Eva. I tried a new technique called shadowing. I used it on Saturday evening after work, and I practiced all day Sunday too. I listened to recordings and tried to repeat what I heard, just like a native speaker." Our teacher smiles and says, "Ah, shadowing. That's a great way to practice. Did anyone else try shadowing?" 3 other students raise their hands. One of them is Jin, a student from South Korea. Jin says, "I also tried shadowing. It helped me with my pronunciation. But it was hard to keep up sometimes." Another student, Maria, says, "I tried shadowing too, but after just 5 minutes, my mouth started to hurt. It was so difficult to keep going. And some recordings were too fast for me." Mrs. Lane nods, understanding. "Yes, I know shadowing can be tough at first," she says. "If your mouth is sore after 5 minutes, that's actually a good sign. It means you're working muscles you don't usually use when you speak English. It's like exercising at the gym. At first, your muscles hurt, but with practice, it becomes easier." Our teacher then explains more about shadowing. "You see," she says, "shadowing helps you with more than just pronunciation. You're also practicing the rhythm and intonation of English, how sentences rise and fall. And even if it's too fast at first, you don't have to repeat everything. Try just the first or last word of each sentence, and with time, you'll get better." Everyone listens closely, and I nod. I remember my first try with shadowing on Saturday evening. "It's true," I say. "At first, it was hard to keep up with the words. But by Sunday night, I noticed a big difference. I could follow along much more easily." Then I raise my hand with a question for Mrs. Lane. I found a website called www.grammarinlevels.com. It looks interesting. But I'm not sure which level one should study. I don't know how many words I know in English. Mrs. Lane thinks for a moment, then asks the class, "Do any of you know how many English words you know?" Everyone shakes their heads. We all know we are intermediate level students, but none of us know how many words we actually know. Mrs. Lane smiles and says, "Well, there's a website that can help you with that. It's called www.testlanguages.com. It's a simple test with only 2 steps. It estimates how many English words you know. You can even take the test every month to see how much you've improved." Several students, including me, look excited. Mrs. Lane says, "If you want, you can take out your phones now and try the test." I quickly take out my phone, and a few other students do the same. I open the website, and in just a few minutes, I have my result. I find out that I know around 2,100 words in English. Most of the students in the class have similar scores, between 2,000 and 2,200 words. But to my surprise, Monica and Jin both know 2,500 words. Our teacher smiles at the results and says, "Great job, everyone." Knowing around 2,000 to 2,500 words is perfect for grammar practice at Level 2 on www.grammarinlevels.com. You can even try Level 3, which is for students who know between 2,000 and 3,000 words. I feel proud of my result and excited to keep learning. I turn to Jin and say, "Wow, 2,500 words. Do you study English every day?" Jin nods and says, "Yes, I study a little bit every day, even on the weekends. I also watch English videos and try to read short stories in English." Monica joins in and says, "I read English articles online, especially about things I like art and fashion. That helps me learn new words without it feeling too hard." Our teacher nods approvingly and says, "That's great, Monica. Reading about things you enjoy is a wonderful way to learn. Learning a language is like building a puzzle. Every new word you learn is another piece of that puzzle." At the end of the class, Mrs. Lane gives us a final tip. Try to use the new words you learn as often as you can. Talk to each other in English during breaks, or even keep a journal in English. And if you're brave enough, try shadowing again just 5 minutes a day. You'll be amazed at the progress you can make in just a few weeks. As I pack up my things, I feel inspired. I decide that I will do the word test again next month to see if I can improve my score. And maybe I'll even try shadowing for 5 minutes a day to keep working on my pronunciation. I know it won't be easy, but I feel ready to keep going. As I leave class, Jin and Monica walk with me. Jin smiles and says, "Maybe we can practice shadowing together sometime. It's always easier with a friend." Monica agrees, "Yes, and we can help each other stay motivated." With my friends by my side and new tools to help me, I feel excited to see how far I can go with my English.